Acting Inspector General of Police of Information, Communication and Technology in charge of the South-South region, DIG Daniel Sukari Pedro, visited Rivers State.
Police, Rivers State CP Olatunji Disu said that the visit of the DIG is coming at the right time when his advice is needed to spice up the officers of the command to perform optimally. CP Disu stated that the Rivers State Police Command has good working relationship with the state government. The Rivers State Police boss listed shortage of anti-riot equipment, manpower, operational vehicles as some challenges facing the command while pleading with the IGP to look into it. Our correspondent reports that Assistant Inspector General of Police AIG Zone 16, comprising Rivers and Bayelsa Police Commands, Paul Omata, and other senior officers were in attendance. Investigations by the Rivers State Police Command following arrest for attempted burglary have revealed a wide range of criminal activities. According to the command's PPRO, SP Grace Iringe Koko, the Rivers State Police Command received a distress call about burglars who were attempting to vandalize warehouses in Elimbu owned by Emmanuel Wango and Ndifreke Ekanem. The police promptly mobilized to the scene and arrested 5 suspects who have been severely beaten by a mob. The statement said that the wounded suspects were taken to the police hospital as investigations began. During the investigations, it was discovered that one of the suspects, West Isaac, was a corporal in the Nigerian Army serving in Delta State. Another suspect, Jabila Kamanga, also known as Kaka, was an officer of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps serving in Kaba, Kogi State. They confessed to abandoning their post to engage in criminal activities in Rivers State to its lucrativeness. Rivers State Commissioner of Police CP Olatunji Disu expressed his profound appreciation for the swift and decisive operation of the military authorities. Bayelsa State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Abuja on Monday affirmed the re-election of Governor Dwoye Diri of Bayelsa State. The Justice Adekunle Adeleye-led 3-member tribunal dismissed as lacking in merit the petition that was brought before it by the All Progressive Congress and its candidate, Chief Timipri Silva. In its unanimous decision, the tribunal held that the petitioners failed to adduce any credible evidence to substantiate any of the allegations they raised against the outcome of the Bayelsa State governorship polls. It struck out as incompetent all the additional proof of evidence as well as the statements on oath of some of the witnesses that testified for the petitioners. According to the tribunal, the law expressly provided that an election petition must be filed not later than 21 days after the result of an election was declared. It held that such petition must be at the time that it was filed, be accompanied with written statements of all intended witnesses. A tribunal chairman, Justice Adeleye, who read the lead judgment, further held that some of the allegations on the petition contained elements of criminality that ought to have been proved beyond reasonable doubt. Governor Dwoye Diri of Bayelsa State has dedicated his victory at the Governorship Election Petition Tribunal to people of the state, saying it will spur him to serve the state better in his second term. The tribunal sitting in Abuja affirmed the re-election of Governor Dwoye Diri in the November 11th, 2023 election in the state and dismissed the petition filed by Chief Timipri Silva and the All Progressive Congress on grounds of lacking merit. Dwoye Diri said that the petition was a needless distraction, and in a statement by his chief press secretary, Daniel Alabra, the governor noted that by the judgment, the judiciary has again proven that it will remain the last hope for the common man. Describing the judgment as very sound and one of the best that has been delivered in such election petition matters, he said that there was still hope for the country. According to him, matters like this are mere distractions in delivering the dividends of democracy to the people, particularly against the backdrop that we had an election that was adjudged to be one of the freest and the fairest. And yet we have been distracted over this period. Governorship candidate of the All Progressive Congress in Bayelsa State and former Minister of State Petroleum, Chief Timikpri Silva, has expressed dissatisfaction with the Monday's Bayelsa Governorship Election Petition Tribunal judgment. Silva, in a statement signed by his Special Assistant on Media and Public Affairs, Julius Bokoru, immediately held a meeting with elders and stakeholders of the party after the judgment and directed his legal team to immediately seek justice at the Court of Appeal. It will be recalled that, prior to the judgment, Silva had accused the tribunal of bias following several infractions observed by his lawyers during the hearing of the case, and subsequently filed an interlocutory appeal demanding the dissolution of the panel and reconstitution of a new one. The APC governorship candidate assured the people of Bayelsa State that the Court of Appeal would surely connect the travesty perpetrated by the tribunal. He declared that the liberation of Bayelsa was close and that justice was inevitable for the traumatized people of the state, appealing to them to remain positive, law-abiding, and steadfast. The paramount ruler of Mbo local government area of Akwa Ibom State, His Royal Majesty Ongwom Okon A. Abang, who was adopted on the night of 18th May in his Ebugu Palace, has been released after payment of a reported 50 million naira ransom. The Police Public Relations Officer, Akwa Ibom Command ASP Tim Fon John, confirmed the release of the monarch, and the abductors, it will be recalled, struck at the palace at about 9 p.m. on the fateful 18th May with roaring guns as they dragged the monarch away, leaving his wife, Obongwanwan Okon Abang, shot on the leg. The development had heightened concerns over the worsening insecurity in the state, especially killing and kidnapping of important personalities, with Oro ethnic bloc of the state's most vulnerable due to its collapsed road network and porosity of its waterways. Governor Bassi Otu of Cross River State has held a crucial meeting with all members of the National Assembly from the state. A statement signed by Gil Nsa, who said that the meeting was to forge solid ties with the 3 senators and 8 House of Representatives members from the state, some of whom are not members of the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC. One of the crucial matters discussed was the crisis in the states. In the state House of Assembly, where 17 aggrieved lawmakers removed the Speaker, Elbert Ayamben, last week. It is understood that O2 had pacified the lawmakers, as it appears that they have gone back on their decision to remove Ayamben, who they allege squandered financial resources. The State Deputy Governor Peter Ode and Chief of Staff to the Governor Emmanuel Ayomba and the Special Advisor to the Governor on National Assembly Matters, Barrister Chris Mbu Oga, also attended the closed-door meeting with the National Assembly members. Federal High Court in Abuja has dismissed a suit by the impeached Edo Deputy Governor Phillips Shaibu, seeking the nullification of the February 22nd governorship primary of the People's Democratic Party in Edo State, won by Asue Igodalo. In a judgment a moment ago, Justice James Omotosho held that Shaibu lacked the local standing to have challenged the outcome of the primaries because he did not fully participate in it and was not present at the venue of the primary the day it was held. Justice Omotosho also held that the suit by Shaibu was premature because he failed to exhaust the internal dispute resolution mechanism of the party before heading for the court. The judge said that as a member of the PDP, he was bound by the rules and regulations of the party, which require an aggrieved aspirant at the primary to first approach the party's appeal committee before filing a suit in court. He held that there was sufficient evidence to show that Ighodalo actually won the primary. Analysts have commended the Edo State government for its efforts towards the implementation of the new minimum wage in the state. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network's Blowout, a public affairs analyst, Magnus Edor, stated that the move by Governor Obaseki is worth emulating by other state governors as it concerns the welfare of the people.
Good one. It's a good one. I want to thank the governor for keeping to his words that actually is looking into the welfare of workers in his state. And he's starting with the minimum wage. You know, even though it's not enough, but at least that's taking steps, which I think other governors should also challenge, that we can still have governors that have the courage to think about the welfare of the workers.
Meanwhile, Loveday Dandy emphasized the need for politicians, including other public office holders, to put in effort in building confidence between themselves and the people.
So when you hear things like this, like how possible it is, considering what's happening between NLC currently with the federal government, everybody can just think they have come again. But reading begins. You know, they said begins with payment, and that's wonderful. And congratulations to Edo State.
This is coming after the Edo State government has successfully increased and paid the new 70,000 naira minimum wage to its workers in fulfillment of its promise to increase the minimum wage from the month of May 2024. Governor Alex Oti of Abia State has promised to transform Umuahia, the state capital, from a glorified village into a befitting city in the next 1 year. Oti, who spoke during an interdenominational Thanksgiving service to commemorate his 1-year anniversary in office, hinted that he would today, Tuesday, May 28th, flag off a multi-billion naira bus terminal project in the capital city. He said that the idea behind the project is to have all the motor parks and railway terminals accommodated in the same place, stressing that Umuahia in the next 1 year will receive a facelift befitting a capital city. The governor assured that his government will continue to do the right things in spite of whose ox is God, and appealed to the citizens to always pray for his administration. While promising to turn the story of Abia around for good, the governor said that he is not bothered about the negative comments in some quarters, as he is answerable to only God and Abians. Governor Oti said that there will be no division in Abia under his watch, as everyone, both indigenous and non-indigenous, resident in the state, will be treated equally. A driver of a Mercedes-Benz sports utility vehicle with 2 occupants were burnt to death after ramming into a stationary truck in Lagos. The incident was said to have happened at Mandela's bus stop in Isolo off Oshodi Apapa Expressway. An eyewitness, Abdul Fatai Wasiu, attributed fatalities to overspeeding on the part of the driver before colliding with the truck. A male adult inside the car was severely burnt and died due to the impact of the collision. The Permanent Secretary, Lagos State Emergency Management Authority, LASEMA, Dr. Femi Oke Osanyitolu, confirmed the incident. Ahead of the forthcoming gubernatorial election in Ondo State, the Independent National Electoral Commission has commenced the continuous voter registration exercise to enable eligible citizens who are not registered voters to do so. The exercise is only open to new registrants and those who seek to transfer their registration. The Commission disclosed this in a post on its official X handle and recalled that the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, had last month, during a consultative meeting with the political party leaders ahead of the 2020 Edo and Ondo states governorship elections, announced it would conduct a CVR in the next 2 results. According to him, the CVR in the two states will take place simultaneously from Monday 27th May 2024 to Wednesday 5th June 2024 from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily, including the weekend. Yakubu also said that the exercise will be conducted at ward level and state headquarters instead of the local government area offices and a few designated centers, as was the case in the past. The management of Ajayi Crowther University has expelled some of its students involved in the jungle justice that claimed the life of a student in the school. The university, in a statement, noted that the unfortunate event was not connected to any cult activity as being circulated on social media, but a case of jungle justice involving a student who allegedly stole a mobile phone. The school noted that all students involved in the death of the deceased have been apprehended and handed over to the police. The university did not specify the number of students involved in the act or those arrested, but assured the public that justice will be served. Spokesperson for the Oyo State Police Command, Adewale Oyefeso, confirmed that the management of the university did hand over some suspects who are currently in police custody. He added that the investigation into the matter has commenced. Governor of Benue State, Hyacinth Alia, has signed an executive order banning open grazing, open defecation and urination, loitering, and driving against the normal flow of traffic, abandonment or parking of vehicles on traffic lanes or driveways, overspeeding and overloading of vehicles, and those offenses and other offenses in the state. The executive order, earlier explained, was in accordance with the Section 14, subsection 2 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, and the Section 10 of the Public Order Act, laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 2004. Hitherto, the order said that any person found guilty of any of the offenses would either be punished in line with the provisions of the order or pay a fine of not less than 20,000 naira and not more than 500,000 naira, taking into cognizance the conduct of the offender and the act involved. The governor has also inaugurated a task force, tribunals, committees, and other arbitration panels to enforce the public order. The order added that any magistrate or area court judge or public order tribunal chaired by a justice of peace will have jurisdiction to try and convict the offenders. Kogi State Governorship Elections Petitions Tribunal sitting in Abuja upheld the election that produced Usman Ododo of the All Progressive Congress, the governor of the state. The three-member panel of justices, headed by Justice Ado Birnin Kudu, dismissed the petition of Murtala Ajaka of the Social Democratic Party for failure to substantially prove material facts in his petition as required by law. The tribunal held that in line with Section 135 of the Electoral Act, petitioner failed to prove how the irregularities alleged were substantial enough to affect the entire elections. In a unanimous decision, the tribunal held that the petitioner had failed to sufficiently adduce credible evidence in line with the relevant laws to warrant the success of his petition. The court further held that the petitioner, according to law, is duty-bound to lead evidence to show that there was substantial inconsistency and show how the irregularities are enough to affect the outcome of the elections. Gubernatorial candidate of the Social Democratic Party in Kogi State, Murtala Yakubu Ajaka, has said that his loss at the tribunal to Governor Usman Ododo is just a temporary setback, as he is set to pursue the case to the highest court. According to a statement signed in Abuja, Ajaka, who was reacting to the verdict of the Kogi State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal, which dismissed his petition against Governor Ododo, said that a long walk to freedom has just begun. Ajaka affirmed that despite the outcome at the tribunal, I am proud to say that we had a team of brilliant lawyers who did an outstanding job in proving the case of overvoting during the elections. The Nigerian military has reopened the popular Banex Plaza in Wuse area of Abuja for business after over a week of siege on the market. According to reports, the plaza resumed operations around 2:30 p.m. on Monday. The market was sealed by military authorities on May the 18th following a violent clash between traders and military personnel. Trouble started when thugs allegedly beat up some soldiers who had a disagreement with a trader in the plaza. The trader had reportedly sold a bad phone to someone who invited soldiers. The police stepped in to save the situation, but soldiers later stormed the plaza, forcing traders to shut down immediately. Human rights activists, including Femi Falana, civil society organizations, amongst others, had condemned the military action. Kwara State Commissioner for Works and Transportation, Abdul Kwai Olododo, said that no fewer than 10 lives were lost in the various fire incidences which occurred in the states in 2023. This came as the Commissioner for Social Development, Afola Shade Opeyemi, lamented that some beggars in the state were found with dangerous arms like guns, daggers, charms, and other dangerous weapons. The state commissioner disclosed this on Monday while giving the scorecard of the one-year administration of the state governor Abdul Rahman Abdul Razak's second term at an interdenominational interministerial press briefing organized by the Ministry of Communications and Strategy. Olododo said that the fire service saved the property worth 18 billion naira during the period. He attributed the saving of many lives to the prompt intervention of fire service officers and purchase of modern firefighting equipment and accessories by the state government. Speaking on road projects, Olododo revealed that 75 road projects earmarked for rehabilitation, reconstruction, and interlocking have been completed across the state, reducing travel times. He added that the work is ongoing for an additional 80 road projects across the 18 local government areas, aimed at further construction, rehabilitation, and interlocking. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, in Lawrence Zonal Command, has arraigned 2 persons for offenses bordering on possession of solid minerals without lawful authority. The defendants, Nura Lawal and Tunde Jimo, were arraigned on a 1-count charge before the Justice Uche Agumo of the Federal High Court sitting in Ibadan, Oyo State. The arrest followed intelligence report received by the Ilorin command of the EFCC about the activities of some people engaged in mining solid minerals within Kwara and transporting the products outside the state for commercial purposes. Without lawful authority, Lawal pleaded guilty to the charge, while Jimo pleaded not guilty. Thereafter, the judge ordered that the defendants be remanded at the Nigerian Correctional Center, Agodi, Ibadan, and adjourned till June the 5th, 2024, for review of facts in Lawal's case and trial in the case of Jime. Governor Ahmadu Fintiri has declared 3 days of mourning for two prominent sons of Adamawa State who died last week. Former chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ibrahim Lamorde, who hails from the state, died on Saturday, May 24th, and the lawmaker representing Gariye constituency in the State House of Assembly, Abdul Malik Musa, had reportedly died earlier the same day. The governor said that the deceased were eminent individuals who would be missed by many. Some farmers were injured in a clash between farmers and cattle herders in the Hayin Kogi forest in Berninkudu local government area of Jigawa State. This is contained in a statement issued by the Police Public Relations Officer of the state, DSP Lawal Shisu. The PPRO added that upon receipt of the report, police from the neighboring police division surrounding the forest were immediately mobilized to the scene. He said that a 42-year-old man and 4 others who sustained injuries have been taken to the Duse General Hospital, where they received treatment and have since been discharged. And he explained that efforts are being intensified to arrest the fleeing suspects while the case is being investigated. The CP directed that the area commander in charge of Berninkudu and divisional police officers in charge of Berninkudu and Kiyawa to hold a stakeholders meeting to douse tensions and avert a breach of peace in the area. No fewer than 11 people were reportedly killed in a fresh bandit attack on Ungwan Lamido local government, Umar Lamido village in the Bahori local government area of Katsina State. The hoodlums wielding dangerous machetes such as AK-47 rifle reportedly launched the attack on Saturday, May 25th, 2024 around 10 p.m. Police spokesperson ASP Abubakar Sadiq said in a statement that the police mobilized operatives in collaboration with members of the vigilantes and responded to the attack. The command described as misleading claims that the bandits shot dead about 40 people. The Commissioner of Police, Katsina State Police Command, CPAA Musa, while expressing his condolences to the families and friends of the victims, condemned the attack. He further ordered a thorough investigation into the incidents and deployed additional assets to ensure the arrest of the perpetrators. Following the dissolution of the 5 emirates and reinstatement of Al-Haji Muhammad Sanusi as the Emir of Kano, there has been tension in the state. The tension threatens to avert the significant strides made towards development in the region. In the light of the above, the Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center calls for an immediate peaceful resolution of the current conflict and urges all parties to respect the rule of law and the rights of the Kano state government. CISLAC expressed deep concern over the ongoing power tussle involving the reinstated Emir of Kano, Muhammad Sanusi II and the dethroned Emir Aminu Ado Bayero. In a statement by the executive director of CISLAC, Awal Ibrahim Musa Rasfanjani, the organization frowns at the torso, adding that the development threatens to plunge the state into chaos and anarchy, which will undermine the peace and stability of the broader northern Nigerian region. The organization noted with alarm that the court's ruling, which security operatives are relying on, facilitated the controversial return of the Emir Aminu Bayero. CISLAC urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to resist any attempt by desperate politicians to disrupt the peace and harmony and currently prevailing in Kano State. The National Safety Investigation Bureau said that it has commenced an investigation into the train derailment at Jere Station. The incidents involved the passenger train en route to Idu Station, Abuja from Rigasa Station, Kaduna. In a statement, a spokesperson for the NSIB, Bimbo Oladeji, said that the preliminary fact-finding undertaken by the investigations revealed that the train was traveling at a speed of 90 kilometers per hour in the section leading to Jere. The train, which departed Rigasa at 8 a.m., with 685 passengers and crew on board, was said to have approached Jere Station at approximately 9:28 a.m. However, while navigating a switch point north of Jere Station, the Bureau said that the baggage van and one passenger coach derailed. The derailed coaches were then dragged approximately 86 feet from the switch point before coming to a stop. 2 drivers, 2 train guards, and 3 traveling ticket collectors, 20 police escorts, and 4 bomb disposal unit members were on board the train alongside the passengers. Kaduna State Governor Uba Sani has announced plans to build 50 additional secondary schools in the state while commissioning one of the 62 newly established government secondary schools in Riga Chinkum, Igabi local government area. Governor Sani explained that the administration's decision to embark on extensive educational infrastructure projects was driven by the need to address significant barriers to accessing education. He emphasized that education is the best investment against poverty and insecurity. Addressing the gathering at the event, the governor highlighted that the newly constructed schools were equipped with state-of-the-art technology, innovation, training, learning spaces, and safety features to ensure that children can focus on acquiring knowledge and develop their full potentials. Earlier in his remarks, former Speaker of the Kaduna State House of Assembly and a member representing Igabi constituency, Honorable Yusuf Zailani, applauded Governor Sani for bringing many developmental projects to his constituency. You are watching the Transition on Atlantic Television Network. We'll return shortly after this break. Please stay tuned.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, social economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Driver, why you just dey jack us up and down like this now?
I hope nobody carry belle o.
Why you ask o?
Because this road wey you dey see so, e no guarantee safe delivery o.
We just dey vote for government, but we no get good governance.
At all.
Road so e no dey, light o usai, the infrastructure nko e come turn to be forbidden fruit for the city.
Corruption spoil everything. Hello?
Hello, madam. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Mrs. Ayeni. I am calling from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs.
Okay. Okay, I've been expecting your call.
Madam, remove this your phone from loudspeaker.
No vex, now my phone be like that. Hello?
Are you there?
I hear, I'm hearing you.
Yes. We saw a copy of your invoice for computers, printers, and laptops.
Yes. Are you working on them now?
Ma, the prices you quoted are way too high now.
Madam, sorry, please don't cost.
We found the laptop you said is 1.8 million naira for 600,000 naira.
Hello?
Now my body network there.
I can't hear you. Network is bad.
Madam, we can hear you. Continue.
Hello, I can't hear you. We call you back.
Their behavior no good now.
Madam, now this kind behavior they kill our country. You suppose do things differently. Make Nigeria for better.
This message is brought to you by the Akin Fadayi Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
What you want to buy?
Welcome back on Transition News on Atlantic Television Network. And now to the rest of our stories. The Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo, says that his ministry will bypass the electricity distribution company on electricity supply to the country's airports over rising electricity bills. He disclosed this during the ministerial press briefing in Abuja to mark the President Bola Tinubu's first year in office, noting that the government pays 1 billion naira electricity bills at Lagos Airport alone. He said the government was considering 600 million naira solar energy investments to go off the national grid for electricity supply, while the government would save 30% of the funds paid to DISCO with solar energy. The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, says that Nigerians will no longer bother about food availability. Kyari, who disclosed this, said that while presenting his scorecard at the ministerial sectoral press briefings organized by the federal government to mark the first anniversary of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, said that Nigerians should no longer bother about food availability. Kyari said that not even a cup of rice has been imported since the current administration came to be, despite alarms being raised in some sections of the looming food scarcity. He said COVID-19 was a major issue globally, flawed Naira redesign where farmers did not have access to cash. To international news, southern Gaza city of Rafah is under heavy bombardment after Israeli strikes killed dozens of people. Israel calls the airstrike a tragic mishap but vows to continue the war against Hamas despite international condemnation. The UN Security Council will hold an emergency meeting later to discuss the strike in the city where thousands of displaced people were sheltering. Meanwhile, Ireland, Norway, and Spain will today formally recognize the state of Palestine, and they hope the symbolic act will refocus attention on efforts to find a political solution to war in the Middle East. But Israel has accused all three countries of rewarding terrorism. Papua New Guinea authorities say nearly 7,900 people living near the site of a deadly landslide are at risk as rocks and debris continues to move down the hillside. An alert for potential evacuation has been put out, with a province official saying that the mountain remains very active. Rescuers say that it is increasingly unlikely that victims will be found alive in the rubble, while the country's disaster agency says it fears about 2,000 people were buried when a mountain slide collapsed last Friday and is much higher than the UN's estimate of about 670 victims. The UN says it has been difficult to establish an exact death toll as access to the site and those buried under the mass remain difficult. The rubble remains 10 meters deep in some places, and the mass of debris is still moving down the hillside, prompting authorities to alert nearby communities to the risk and issuing evacuation notices. Pope Francis is reported to have used extremely derogatory language in an incident that could have a profound impact on the way his attitude towards gay people is perceived. When asked at an Italian bishops' conference if gay men should now be allowed to train for the priesthood as long as they remain celibate, Pope Francis said that they should not. He is then believed to have continued by saying in Italian that there was in the church a highly offensive slur and that it was a meeting that happened behind closed doors. There had been a shock at the Pope's reported language at this private meeting, particularly as he has often talked publicly of being respectful towards gay people, while progressive supporters of the Pope have long argued that while little has tangibly changed in terms of gay rights in Catholicism, and Pope Francis has changed the tone of the Church's attitude. Nevertheless, some outlets report that the Pope also said gay people needed kicking out of seminaries whether they acted on their sexual tendencies or not. And to sports, Super Eagles head coach Finidi George said that the team can't continue to play the defensive football that got them to the final of the 2023 African Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire. Despite the glut of attacking talents in the team, former head coach Jose Peseiro opted for a defensive approach at the tournament. The Super Eagles made it to the finals where they lost 2-1 to the host, and with the array of quality strikers at his disposal, they can't afford to play a defensive game again. Finidi will lead the Super Eagles for the first time in a competitive game against South Africa next month. Diego Simeone's Atletico Madrid has opted not to pursue Super Eagles and Leicester City midfielder Wilfred Ndidi. Ndidi was offered to the La Liga club, but they declined, prioritizing other midfield targets. A potential move to Atletico Madrid would have provided the Nigerian international with a chance to play in the UEFA Champions League next season. Ndidi has attracted interest from several clubs, including Barcelona, Tottenham, Aston Villa, Newcastle, and Wolves. His Premier League experience and quality have made him a desirable target for several clubs, though his next destination remains uncertain. Chelsea have submitted their proposal to Tosin Adarabioyo ahead of the summer transfer window. Adarabioyo will become a free agent at the end of the next month. Newcastle United were previously favourites to sign him, but now face stiff competition from the Blues, and Manchester United are the other club linked with the centre-back but failed to submit an offer for the player. Adarabioyo made 22 appearances for Fulham this season, scoring twice, and has spent the last 4 seasons with Fulham. On entertainment, the media personality Dotun has expressed gratitude to superstar singer Davido for helping him locate his children, Fife and Fiore. The on-air personality has been in a prolonged custody battle with his ex-wife Omotayo without much progress. In honor of the Children's Day, Dotun shared a collage of photos of him and his daughters over the years on his Instagram page. And that's the size of the package. Thanks for joining us. I am Raymond Ken Mbata. You can follow us on our social media platforms, Twitter, Atlantic TV Net, on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, on Instagram, Atlantic TV Network. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for Society Watch coming up next.
I don't get a lot. Boy, they won't booga me small. They say, man, give them bribe. I say nothing. They don't pay.
Hey, but first, you see the house rent with the old things. We go first call caretaker, take the money, slap him.
Beg, see, you know, say I get annual levy why they pay for club. Where me and boys they shark beer in our house, I could pay that one. You remember say me and
they beg caretaker, what they beg landlord, old man, and they agree give us time. Money can't come now, you won't divert time. You said na corruption. Corruption, not in my house and not in my country.
Sure?
Sure.
Corruption not in my country.
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Corruption not in my country.
Kasali, my card already. I get interview in 30 minutes.
Guy, you not ready. I just the last minute instruction wey you give me yesterday. Now in the cost more delay. Instruction. Shebi na you say make I change